look for a church home.
Right.
So you will be in the ark of safety.
Okay.
So I found this little church. It was a Baptist church, and this church had well, at that time he wasn't Bishop then, Falls. He was Reverend Falls and Reverend Strong.
Right.
And they were using the same church. So Reverend Falls was growing his family. He had members of the church choir. They could sing. He could preach.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was following him.
Right.
So Reverend Strong only had about 6 members. And my girlfriend, she lived here. So I don't know if she was a church hopper or not. But she said to me, well, let's join Reverend Strong because he doesn't have any members. I said, sure. So we joined Reverend Strong's church. And she said she had been baptized before, but she would be baptized again with me. So we, Reverend Strong, what is it? Reverend Fox? I don't know whose church, I don't remember now. But he rented somebody's pool.
Right.
And he baptized us. And we stayed there with him for a while. But, you know, I said Reverend Strong needs to be a real testimony person. Because he could, to me, his sermons were like testifying, you know, a couple of minutes, and there it was.
Oh, he was short and sweet.
Short and sweet, yeah. Short, but I don't know about sweet, but short and sweet. And we didn't stay there long. Real strong. Then we joined another group. When we moved, we were closer to another one,
Mm-hmm.
and neither one of us could drive.
Right.
So, what was his name? Well, he was in a house. He was renting a room in a house. So we joined with him. She told me about it, you know. He said, okay, I found another okay.
And how many members was in that one at the house?
That was just his family.
Oh, okay.
I think it was only one couple that wasn't his family, because it was his wife. I think those 2 people were in-laws.
Mm-hmm.
And another lady and her son. It was about 5 plus him. But he was really a proud person. Then when I moved again, I was spoiled. I got my own room, and so he come all the way up to get the money,
your dues, your ties?
Ties and often, yes. And he come all the way up to Orange to get it, and he did. But I don't know why I didn't get the bus and go down there.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't, you weren't getting the spiritual satisfaction that you needed out of it.
Well, I kind of enjoyed those people.
Uh-huh.
You know, I think that he had a young preacher there and his mother.
Mm-hmm. At the house.
And in the house
congregation. Right.
And I think they were really sincere. I don't know, but I felt different there. And his wife seemed really spiritual, and they seemed really okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But, you know, it was just a few people, but that didn't bother mean, about those few people there, but this other few people, you know, it wasn't no whatever what you feel down, what I felt down there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to think. When I left there, I went home.
That was after. Well, that was before or after my mom was born.
Oh, that was before.
Before.
Mm-hmm.
Well, aunt was born, right?
Yeah, she was the only one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So.
When did you find out about St. Paul?
I kept telling people, I said, you know, I was born and raised Methodist,
Mm-hmm.
and I love the AME church. And I can't find an AME church
Right.
in this
In the north.
In East Orange area.
Oh, okay.
And Orange area. These are the two places.
Mm-hmm.
I said, and he said, well, just come on and join the Baptist church. Well, see, that's how I got with this, you know, these two little Baptist churches.
Oh, okay.
And I was baptized with Reverend Strong, but, you know, when I went to Reverend Richardson, I didn't have to be baptized again because I was baptized. So, the lady that I was really from in Orange, well, Karen was home with my mother.
Right.
And my mother told me that her father was trying to take her with him.
Oh, out to Kentucky?
No, he was at that time he was in Kansas.
Kansas, I knew it was some case.
Yeah, but he ended up in Washington.
State? He was in what state?
Washington State.
Uh-huh.
But Karen, for some reason, she
Never liked him, right?
No. When we went to Kansas, Karen, it was, we had rooms. You know, it was a rooming house. Mm-hmm. And the guy next to us, Karen would fall out crying if he didn't pick her up and take her with him. And he loved her. He was a sweet guy. And she was so crazy about this guy.
But not her own dad.
Not her own dad. She didn't like him at all. And I don't know if she ever really liked him. Because,
Did she ever see him after y'all went to Kansas?
Yeah.
Oh, she did? Oh, he came back to visit in Carolina?
No. He had a job that took him places. And he came to New York.
Oh, okay.
And she would visit him in New York. He would call and she would visit. But I don't know, he wanted her to come out there with him, even just to visit. I tried to get her to go visit.
Hey,
she just did not want to go visit him. But when his wife died, did she go? I don't think she went. Lucia, my sister that, you know, my best friend, I call my sister, she and his supposedly sister went, because her brother, Lucia's brother, and the lady that went to the wife's funeral, the lady was the daughter of the brother.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. And the two of them went out there. But one of the other cousins, was she a cousin? She went out there. But she was disappointed because he didn't have a brick house.
A brick house?
She thought he was rich, had a brick house, and well, she talked about him like a dog. But anyway,
I guess that was the status symbol back then, having a brick house.
No, this I don't think what many people at home had brick houses.
Mm-hmm.
That was a later thing when everybody got brick houses. But you know, most people had their own home, but it wasn't no brick.
Right.
It was wood. But she was disappointed because she thought he was better off than she thought. But anyway, I kept talking when they said he was coming to get Karen to stay with him. Right away, I went home and got her.
Oh, really?
I went right home and got Karen. I think, was Karen? How old was Karen?
But why was that? Because you didn't want him to take her, or you didn't want...
I didn't want him to take her from me, because once he took her, that would be... me,
you wouldn't have been able to find her.
Right. I wouldn't have been able to find her and if all of his family were back home, but I don't know if they would have told me where she was or anything.
How old was she at the time?
I'm trying to think. I'm not sure how old Karen was.
Under 5?
Yeah. No, because she must have been about, was she 9? I don't think she was that old. Can't remember how old she was. But we had, I had this room, and she and I shared that room, and I worked nights, and the landlady, her brother-in-law, I think he was her brother-in-law, but he was one of the nicest men you ever met, because he lived there too. He had his own room.
Right.
And he said, don't worry about Karen. You go ahead and work. You don't have to pay me anything. And
keep
out for her. And but he did. And the landlady, she said she was an African Methodist Episcopal person, but she left the Methodist to go to Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, wow, that's a jump.
Yeah. So she is the one that told me. She said, you know, I heard about this big church down here on Central Avenue, off Central. I heard that was African Methodist Episcopal people bought it.
Right.
I said, they did? I'm going there Sunday.
And that's how you got hooked up there.
That's how I got hooked up there. But Karen, she was going to a Methodist church where my cousin, well, we call them cousins because they were in-laws.
But that was still down in North Carolina.
No, here.
Oh, that was up here.
Up here.
What cousins did you have up here?
Thelma, Marsha. But,
okay.
Yeah, but they were like in-laws.
Right.
People. And we got really close and we call them cousins. And we were cousins. And but Karen was going to school in Orange, but she didn't like that teacher, and that teacher did not like her. That teacher, Karen said she don't know if it was because they had to put her, I think, in the grade that she was in North Carolina. She didn't know if the teacher didn't like that or didn't like her for whatever reason, but that teacher did not like Karen.
Right.
So Karen kept saying to me, that teacher don't like me. But you know, kids always say things like that. So I was looking for my own apartment anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, friends of mine were telling me about different places. And I went all over Orange looking for some place, and I didn't find anything there. And then one of my friends that she was, I think, from Virginia, but she was having a lot of problem with her husband, and we talked a lot, you know.
Right.
So she said, why don't you just try East Orange? I said, well, okay. See, I'd heard about East Orange, and East Orange was too aristocratic for me. And I said, well, I'll try. And I found the place right away. But the reason I found this place right away is because that highway was coming through there.
Oh, the Parkway. They were building the Parkway.
Was it the Parkway?
Yeah, Garden State Parkway.
Yeah.
Or was it 280?
I was wondering which one it was. I think it.
Because I don't know the history of 280. I know the history of the Parkway. And that, but that's when you said that they started ripping down those houses right there to build the Parkway.
The Parkway.
Yes.
Yeah. So they and we this was such a nice apartment. I think I guess so, because they were gonna tear it down and we didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that. No.
Yeah.
Well, I took that apartment and we stayed there for a while, and then I started hearing that they were going to tear it down.
Right.
And I had just paid my rent, because the first thing I do is pay my rent. I say, well, you know, I can do without light, but we had to have a place to live.
Yeah.
So I would pay my rent. The day it was due, they got my rent. And I went and paid my rent. This lady knew that we had to get out of that.
Everybody was getting evicted.
Yeah, no, she knew that we had to get out of that place.
Yeah, so they could tear everything down.
Yeah, but see, these people weren't paying any rent. I found that out later.
Oh, because they already got their money to move out.
Yeah.
And that you were still paying them rent.
I'm still paying the landlord rent. And I went to her and I said, Miss, this is the only money that I have. Could you please give me my rent money back,
right,
so I can find me an apartment? I said, because if I don't get this money back, I don't have anything to look for an apartment.
Right.
She was tired. She went and spoke to her husband, and you know, I was just pitiful and praying in my heart, Lord, I need you now. And she gave me my money back. And
is that when y'all moved to Halstead Street?
Not Halstead.
Where?
Harvard.
Harvard Street, that's what I meant, yes. Oh, okay, in that building.
Yeah, and I think we had the nicest place in there, because they had just renovated. And I think they said the landlord was living in the apartment that, you know.
That you got? Oh, okay.
And the lady, they were, you know, they were all, well, you know me and my white folk. And they were all white folk. And
all that lived in that building?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And
that changed.
Well, yeah. So when I went, I don't know who told me who the landlord was, and she, oh, she got so angry when she saw me. She said, "You can have all of these apartments because we are moving out."
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
As long as the rent stays the same, I use all of them.
I just said to myself, "Oh boy, she's prejudiced or something." To myself, I ain't messing with these people. So I went to another one. She said, "Oh, my place is small, but if you want to look at it, it's okay."
Right.
She was one of the white ladies. She was a young woman, and she said, "You know, this little nook right here is where I keep my refrigerator." I said, "Okay, thank you." But that was just too small. So let me see now. I think this was the place on Lenox Avenue. You know where that is?
Yes.
Well, that's where I went. That big apartment, I don't know if it's still there, but it was there on that corner. That was a big one. But it had these little bitty rooms.
Apartments?
A little bit of apartment rooms, little rooms. And but they were apartments, but they were small rooms.
Right.
And these are the ones that said I could have the whole place because they were moving out. But I didn't take anything there. And then I went to the place on Harvard Street. Still praying now. I gotta get something. And this lady was so nice. And, you know, she called the landlord. I guess he had to know what color was coming in. And she, you know, she didn't show me any other apartment. She said, "Oh, I have just the right apartment for you." She said there's only one bedroom, but it's really a nice place because the landlord had it before. Right. And he just recently renovated into a nice place. And so she took me up to see it. And I told her, "Sure, I'll take how much is the rent?" She said, "I'm sorry to say, but I don't know if he had doubled or tripled the rent."
Oh, because he renovated it?
No. It's because they were renting now to us. They didn't rent to us before.
Are you talking about black people? Oh, okay.
And those people in that place, she said to me, you know, they were all white, even the landlord. But she said to me that, you know, they're all on welfare.
They're what?
On welfare.
Oh, everybody in there is on welfare, but still had some type of hatred towards different colored people.
Because they, you know, how they're considered, you know, we even renting, they think when we move in, the value goes down.
Right.
I mean, they still have that mentality. But when this lady showed me this apartment, she was apologizing for how much I would have to pay.
Right.
But it so happened God had blessed me, and I had it, the money. And I told her, yes, I would take it. And I would give her the rent money. I mean, was it the rent money or
the first and last month deposit or something like that?
It was part of the deposit, I think, but the full rent
and
or the full security and part of the rent. It was something like that, but she worked it out.
Right, okay.
And God worked it out with us. And she let me have that place, and it was nice. It was a beautiful apartment, but I don't know how beautiful it was when we left there.
Why?
Because we were there what, 14, 15 years.
Oh, okay.
And I had bought myself a washing machine and wasn't supposed to have it. And it was dancing around in the kitchen and broke up some.
That's why they didn't want to type in there.
Yeah,
you breaking the rules.
Breaking the rules. Because I sure broke the rules when I went in there. Because I needed that washing machine. But it was a little portable washing machine. And I had it in the kitchen. And I was able to get me a refrigerator.
Right.
I had that in the kitchen.
Yeah, that high class technology right there, the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And had
moving up from an ice box.
Yes. I had table. I guess I had 4 chairs in the kitchen, and I made the living room was small, but that I don't know what was that
Foyer?
No, it was a room, a big room, but I made it a bedroom for the kids.
Oh, okay.
And then the one bedroom I took myself, it was small.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't, it was about bigger than my kitchen.
So, my mother was born by then. Was Bruce?
They weren't born yet.
No.
Were they?
Well, you said
yeah,
they
were born. Yeah, my mother had them. I had Bruce and Renell.
Oh, okay.
Well, you would have thought my mother birthed these children,
right,
because she called them hers. You know, and she wanted them. I had some people that did child care, kept kids,
right,
but they were too expensive. I couldn't.
Right, couldn't afford
an apartment and
yeah,
somebody taking care of the kids.
Right.
So my mother told me to bring them home to her.
Well, my mother was already staying down there, right?
No, she wasn't born yet. When she was
born,
she was born there. I was there then.
Mm-hmm.
I was there then.
Oh, okay.
And when she was born, how old was she when I left home? I forgot. But it must have been in the early 50s. I mean, because I went there.
Well, early 60s.
No.
She was born in 59.
Yeah, but I was in Jersey before that.
Right.
And then I went back down there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came back up here.
Right.
Uh-huh. And
what,
when she was born, I left right away and came back because I had a job here.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh. But I hated the job. Housekeeping,
mm-hmm,
cleaning people's houses. We had a friend, my girlfriend Lucille, that called my sister.
Right.
Her husband would say, "Don't y'all work in no white people's house." Say, because you need to do your own house, and you don't need to have to do no white people's house. So we rather work on the farm.
Right.
But then on
you was getting more money working in white people's house, right?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. But Lucille and I, they seemed, we were such close friends. I don't know if they ever saw anybody that close.
Mm-hmm.
And we worked on the farm together, and we were such good friends. And this, the owner, it was 5 brothers and a sister, or 7 brothers and a sister. But each one had their home on that land.
On property. See, that's what I want to do.
And the sister, it was only one girl, I think she had the family home.
Mm-hmm.
But all the others had their own home. That the father had, built all of them homes. And so the one guy, John, he was our boss in the field, you know. But he liked us so much, and he got sick, and he wanted me and Lucille to come and work for him in his shore house.
Oh, okay. Well, where was that at? That was in North Carolina still?
Oh, yeah.
The shore house?
It was in North Carolina, but I don't know which one of those beaches it was on. It was one of those beaches. I forgot all that stuff. But we worked for him. I think he wanted us a couple of 3 days a week. It wasn't the whole week. It wasn't, because it really wasn't much to do.
Right.
But he liked us a lot, and we knew it. And he was a good man. There were some good people. I don't know if they were Jews or white, but there were some.
Jews or white.
Yeah. But, because the Jews, they made themselves white, because they got a better life.
Purifying the race.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't know if they were Jews or white, but they were really good people. And we worked for him until he died. He got cancer, and he died. But he was such a good man. We cried and cried and cried when he died. He was still so sweet and just a kind person. But all of those people, that family of people were good. I don't know if, but the thing about them and, us, they were concerned about the head of the family, when they only had a little work for a few people, they would give it to the men.
Oh, okay.
Because
that's how it was back then. The men provided for the family.
Yeah. But my mother's husband didn't provide. He, well, I'm not talking about her first husband, because that man was good. He was.
Was that your father?
My stepfather.
So her first husband
was my stepfather.
Oh, well, who was your father? I don't know. Oh.
I know. It's up in the air. I don't. He never owned me, and I never owned him. And
did you ever meet him?
I lived right there with him in North Carolina.
Oh, I don't know.
No, well, anyway, we all live right there together. But he says my mother never told him that I was his child. But all of his family owned me as their niece. And you don't know that I didn't live there. I don't know if you remember any of them when we visited North Carolina.
Only thing I remember about North Carolina was
when you shot that snake in the eye.
Well, no, not even that. That's a vague memory. I remember Aunt Sis's house.
Yeah.
I remember biscuits with it wasn't syrup. Was it molasses? Yeah.
With Aunt Sis' house?
Yes, at Sis' house.
Oh, I thought you were talking about one of your cousins. Because I was going to say that must have been Juliet.
Then, what was it? Across the street, I think that might have been a trailer, but it was gray. And that was the same ditch that I shot the snake in.
Yeah, that was it, the trailer.
And then to the left, if you walk out of Aunt Sis's driveway, to the left, it was somebody's house over there that had animals.
Wait a minute. Aunt Sis's house.
Because you walk out of Aunt Sis's driveway, go to the left, and there was somebody else's house over there and that's as far as I was allowed to go.
Well, I guess that was the people that my supposedly father was. That
Oh,
might
really?
have been,
Well, I met
yeah.
those people, but on the same side of the street as Aunt Sis' house, way far down, there was another house, but I wasn't allowed to go down that far.
No. Well, that was your way down. Which way?
There's, if you go to Aunt Sis' house, the main road is to the right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Across the street, it was the gray trailer type thing, and right next to that, it was another house.
Oh.
But not right next to it. It was a little ways down. Yeah.
That was them.
And those were the I don't remember those people. I remember they had animals there. The trailer across the street, there were kids my age, well, somewhat my age, and then it was Lucille's house, where that was her grandson or something.
She was across the road, yeah.
Well,
that
no,
might have been.
Where we went, it wasn't across the road. It was like on the other side of town or something like that. And that's where I first had a mayonnaise sandwich.
Wait a minute. You said, shit,
your sister Lucille.
Yeah.
She didn't live close by. She lived more near in like a town setting.
She lived next to Sis.
No.
Yeah, she did. Her house still there.
Well, I don't know if that wasn't where, unless I'm talking about somebody else. She's really light skinned, and she had I think it was her grandson. And he and I were around the same age.
Yeah, but y'all were the same age, but I'm trying to think.
We took a car to get there, to get to her house.
Well, we would take a car if you had it, but you could walk there.
You might have been able to walk there, but it wasn't on the same street.
No, but
Oh, and it was dirt roads.
No, where she lived was a highway.
Okay, yeah.
And where the other road was a highway, but we lived near the church. You remember the church?
Yep, I remember going by there too. But where Lucille lived wasn't next to Aunt Sis' house. I don't remember how far away it was, but it wasn't on the same street because on Aunt Sis Street.
No, Aunt Sis Street was a
dirt road.
Dirt road.
I remember
and you come out to the highway.
Yes.
Cross over there was Lucille's mother.
Oh, okay.
House, and maybe she built her house later.
All right. Well, I guess Lucille didn't live.
She lived with her mother.
Okay, so that must have been where we went to, because I know it wasn't on the same street.
Well, I'm trying to think.
And it was a really nice house, and I think they had air conditioning. Back in the 80s. What was that, 84? Or 86 when we went?
Must have been 86. You had to be a little older than 4. Right?
I don't know.
I don't know, because I don't even know why we were visiting her. We might have gone to a funeral, who knows. But I'm trying to think. But anyway, that family, that's the Whittits. I don't know if you know anything about them. But,
the only thing that...
I'm trying to think of when Andrea, how old was Andrea? And trying to think if you were born when Vera came to visit, supposedly my sister.
Here? And she stayed upstairs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember? You remember her daughter?
No.
Oh, you don't remember her daughter? Because her daughter and Andrea were the same age.
If I did, they probably kept me away from them because I was too young.
Maybe they were, was Karen still living here?
Here? I don't remember Aunt ever living here.
Oh, you don't, well, okay. So maybe that the girl you were talking about, maybe she did stay upstairs.
Yes. And
Uh-huh. And this lady who I'm about to say, supposedly my father's daughter.
mhm.
So it was, um, Nina, Celeste, Vera, Carl, Otis, Harry. It was 6 of them. But he never wanted me to be his child.
Hmm.
But when she decided, you know, she wanted to meet her, get acquainted and be friends with her older sister.
Right.
And want the others to accept me.
Mm-hmm.
And so she and her husband came to visit. He was an addict, but
Was or was not?
was.
What kind of addict?
I don't know which one he took.
Was it drugs or alcohol? Or?
Drugs.
Oh.
Because Carl, Ida's husband, took him where to get it, because we didn't know nothing about that stuff. But anyhow, he was a nice man, and you know, we had no problem with him. He was a very nice person. But to me, when she wanted to come visit me, I thought it was, what would you say? What words would you use? Because I want to say it right. And she said, when she wanted to come visit me, she said, I'm tired of being the older sister. I want you to go be the older sister.
Mm-hmm.
But then she was the type of person, you know, she had gone in the service. Each one of his kids went in the service and when they finished high school because he worked them to death.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what did...
On a farm.
Oh, okay.
So they had this farm.
That was their only option.
That's,
The only way out was going to the service.
That's right. And each one of them went as soon as they finished high school. And so she came, and her husband and her daughter and Andrea was the same age, and they enjoyed each other. And she was not a beautiful little girl, but they had adopted her. And she said that her husband, when they went to look at kids, to her husband, when they got that one, he said, I want this one.
You saw something in her?
I guess so. Unless he had been flirting out there and it might have been his.
Oh, wow.
No, I don't think it was. Because, you know, no subject like that never came up.
Mm.
So, anyway, that's the one he wanted.
Right.
And I was surprised at Vera because she was always so...
boisterous?
No. Well, she was that too. But she was always wanted to be more than what she was.
Mm-hmm.
What do you call that?
High strung or
Not high strung, because you want to be, but you're not. You're not.
Yeah.
You want to. You want
I
to
can't think of the word.
It is. But anyway, she. And he, I mean, we enjoyed each other. But I thought, you know, when she said she wanted to come visit me, I don't know how I'm going to take her because she seemed to think she was better than other people. So
Vera or the girl?
Her.
Oh.
Vera. The one supposed to be my sister.
Right.
And, you know, she was just that way at home. She just, even though they worked like a dog in the field and stuff, but when they got old enough to finish high school, living in the service, so when you come home, you're a little different.
Right, you got a taste of the world outside of there. Nobody can tell you anything. Because I've been around the world.
Yeah, that's the way she was. So when she said that, I said, well, how in the world am I going to entertain her the way I feel about her? You know? Because I liked her, seeing her mother, you know, when I was growing up, very nice people to me. But when she went back home, she was different. But I wasn't there either. So.
Yeah, you were up here in Jersey.
Jersey, yeah. But anyway, I was figuring out how am I going to entertain her, because she thought she was better. That's my feeling of her. She might have not thought, you know. But I told her, sure, I would enjoy having her visit. So she did come. She and her husband and that girl. I forgot how long they stayed, but I know it was more than a week.
Yeah, and they were right at the foot of your bed in the fold-out bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. But anyway, they came, and you know, I got a better understanding of her. But you know, I don't know what her life was like. She was in, where was she? She was in, it's a simple place. I can't think of it right now. But anyway, I got a better feeling of her. And I really liked her. And we go shopping, and you know, she wasn't, I thought she would be, you know,
like stuck up about
stuff. And flashing beautiful clothes.
Right.
But she didn't have anything. And she went shopping at Woolworth.
Yeah, she's normal.
But for her daughter, she dressed her beautiful.
Okay. The adopted daughter.
The adopted daughter.
Oh, okay.
She dressed her beautiful. But she had an adopted son, too, from her sister. He was a handsome young man, but he was killed. He was killed before they came to visit.
Oh, wow.
And
you know how?
He was shot.
Oh.
And when she came, I got a different feeling toward her. To me, she was down to earth. But before, she was not down to earth.
Well, that's how she probably felt like she had to act with everybody else.
Maybe. I don't know. But when she came here, she was sweet. She was down to earth. And we enjoyed each other's company. And we enjoyed each other. And she was happy to, you know, appreciate me as her sister.
Right.
But then, they went back where they, you know. And then, they decided, I think they decided to move to North Carolina. she decided to go back home.
Mm-hmm.
And he was willing, to go back with her. And they built a house, and they were doing good, but he was a dialysis patient too.
Oh, okay.
And he ended up dying. And I said, now, all of this, to me, wait a minute, I'm getting a little ahead, but she had talked to the brothers and sisters about me and wanted me to be part of the family. And she wanted to give me a well, I guess they would call it lots.
Mm-hmm.
And like all of them got, she wanted to give me. So she called me and told me, but the one brother, he was holding out. He didn't want to do it.
He didn't want to share anything.
He didn't want to do it. I don't know if he didn't want to be, the sister. Oh, when I was in Philadelphia, oh, my beautiful sister come over there every week. And then he was the main one, she said, that didn't want to, claim me and family and give me a lot too, right there with them.
And that was on the farm that your father had owned?
Well, now it wasn't no farm.
But that's what it used to be.
That's what it used to be, and all the family house was still there, but the one daughter still lives in the family house, and I'm trying to think, and some of them built their houses
on that property.
On that property, I think. I think I'm not really sure, but when her husband died, and my name wasn't in the obituary, that hurt. That hurt because she, this is my sister,
right?
And we, caring about each other, and she wanted to do all these things for me, and she claimed the brother, was the one that was holding out. And I told her, I said, well, listen, don't you worry about me any property. I said, because y'all work too hard for that property for me to come in there doing nothing and going to get some of it. That's just the way I told her. I said, my mom had property that she's going to give me.
Right.
I said, now, I don't want y'all to fuss and go about no property because I'm very well protected. So, but when her husband died and my name wasn't in that obituary,
that's what bothered you.
It did. I said, all this.
Yeah, everybody claiming you.
Claiming, and yet the husband died. The husband has been here to see me. The husband knows I'm the sister, and then he dies and no name of mine in the obituary.
Right, but everybody else was.
Oh yeah, everybody's name was in the obituary. All the sisters and the brothers, and everybody else. Cousins and stuff was in the obituary, but not me. So I felt very hurt for that. But the property didn't bother me at all. But, I didn't get up for 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and milk the cow before they went to school. And whatever work had to be done, feed the horses, the pigs, these kids worked so hard because that was their livelihood.
Right.
And he had a little store, little about big as a minute, and he sold little things for kids like little penny candy and stuff like that. But he never gave me any. When I went in the store, he never gave me a piece of penny candy. He never, and my mother said, I said, why did you tell me he was my dad and didn't tell him. She said because when she got pregnant, um, this was a friend of theirs. She was real light and she had this pretty hair.
Mm-hmm.
And she had a kid, but he was a little older, you know. So he said he would marry her rather than marry my mother. And he knew that wasn't his child.
The
lady with the light skin
mm-hmm.
and pretty hair. And so Mom said, I mean, he said that's why she was pregnant.
Oh, wow.
So she wouldn't tell him.
Mm-hmm.
And she never told him. But all of his family, his brothers and sisters, they all own me, call me their niece. I call them aunt and uncle.
Right.
And then when Louis needed somebody, you remember Louis, though, right? Sweetie, Louis, Sweetie, he was one of the wealthiest people on Rock Hill.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Because he, and he was a fishman. He and his wife, he had married, half and half lady, half white, half black. Well, she was more white than black because she had the white hair and everything. But anyhow, she, you know, she was black because her mother was the color of this, but her dad was white. But she was white and pretty, but she came out white with beautiful long hair and pretty, and her mother looked like this. So you couldn't understand why, you know, some white people, they had kids, they weren't, her hair was light,
mm-hmm.
but it wasn't blonde.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, one family there that I was real close to, they were two black people. I mean, you know, they were light skinned, but they had blonde haired kids.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. And I said, well, why don't all the white people have blonde haired kids? We need two black people have blonde haired kids. One was red haired and the others were blonde.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. But
and their genetics, those genetic mutations.
I guess so. But that was strange to me, you
mm-hmm.
know. And because the one that was a redhead was a boy.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know where those kids are now. I know they're all living at home. I don't know about the son, but the mother died. So, but anyway, when that was supposed to be my father, but they never owned me. He never owned me. But when I was growing up, his wife loved me to death and showed me love.
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't say anything either, you know. But that's the only thing that bothered me, was I wasn't in that obituary.
Mm-hmm.
And this, maybe about 2 or 3 weeks ago, another, I don't know, wait a minute. That was a brother-in-law. Mm-hmm. So now a brother died.
Right.
And I wasn't in that obituary.
Oh, wow.
Because Lucia told me. Mm-hmm. So
Is Vera still alive?
Vera's still alive, kicking. I got a Christmas card from her.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Now, I wasn't ever close to Vera.
Mm-hmm.
And I had that, I told you when she said she wanted to come and make me big sister.
Right.
Because she was tired of being the big sister. And I felt, she always thought she was better, even though she didn't have anything,
Right.
But when she went off, I guess, and came back, she kind of saw a different light because she worked so hard when she was coming up.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, when we were coming up, that mother, she was nice to me. She was very good to me. But Lewis is the one where I was telling you married this lady. And they had adopted a daughter. And she always cheated on him.
Wow.
Always. But
that's no good.
But they said that he kept a gun under his pillow.
Well, we got something in common.
Well, that's terrible. Because he kept a gun under his pillow, so if she made a crooked move, she was gone. But
that's no good.
It wasn't no good at all. Because I don't know how they did it, but she was going with this younger man. And I think he was Lucille's nephew.
Mm-hmm.
And how they got out of that house, clean. Oh, I've never seen a house so clean. The drawers, all they had an adopted daughter, and I don't remember how old she was, but anyway, this lady, she left him with this man.
Right.
And they pulled the suitcases or trunks, whatever they had, pulled them out in the woods. I don't know how they got to New York, but they had taken everything of hers and
left.
And left it neat and clean, and the daughter clothes neat and everything clean, the drawers all neat. Everything was just really nice. She did the floors, and she just did everything nice before she left. And that is why I didn't want hardwood floors. And because those floors were hard to keep. And see, he after she left, he found out she was gone. She didn't take the kids. She left the kids, so he had to have a female to take care of the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So he asked me if I would come stay with them and take care of the kids. And I was so happy, Jeremy. I said, oh, that means I can stay with Karen a little while longer, because I was anticipating going to find a job again.
Right.
And that means I would have to leave Karen again. So I said, oh, I can stay with Karen and spend my money like I wanted to, because there's a lot of people depending on me to lend them money, and they would pay me back. I never had any of them that didn't pay me back.
Right.
They all paid me back, but I always would lend them money, because I know how to save money.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, oh, I would have my own money and wouldn't have to be worrying about Mama. I could help Mama out. And, I was just happy. And then my cousin in Philadelphia, she was anticipating get me to stay with her mother, Aunt Rosa, because I loved Aunt Rosa to death.
Right.
And she loved me. Now, she was on the Whitted side of the family, but she never showed any difference with us. She loved me. She really loved me. You know, when you have love, you got it. And I used to stay at her house all the time with her daughters. And I remember when they were going off to college, they treated me like I was a little kid. And I still intend to talk to them about that.
Oh, really?
But I didn't get to talk to them about why they treated me like I was so young.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like teenagers or something. But they did. They treated me. But I used to spend nights with them all the time. And they loved me a lot, too. But the funniest thing, though, I would call Aunt Rosa, but her husband, Mr. David.
Oh, wow.
I wouldn't call him Uncle. And all the rest of them called him Uncle David, but me. I said Mr. David. But I said Aunt Rosa. And so they lost a brother this time. I'm sorry they lost a brother, but my name wasn't in the obituary.
Nah.
And I think he was an alcoholic, and he was I don't know, seemed like he was in and out of jail. You know how they used to do alcoholics in North Carolina? They have to spend a year and a day in jail, regardless, if they catch them drinking. And
what do you mean, catch them drinking?
Catch them drunk, I guess, wherever.
A year and a day?
A year and a day.
So disorderly conduct, or drinking and driving, or?
And I don't think it was driving, because a lot of people went in didn't drive.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. It must have been disorderly conduct, or was this during Prohibition?
But, you know, this was the most, it was us. It wasn't they. It was us. And that's what we did. We drank on the weekend. We got thrown in jail. And I don't know, you know, whether it's because they had to get, you know, taxes was so cheap. So I don't know if they had to have a quota. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, you hear them talk about quotas now.
Yeah.
But see, I don't know what kind of way they
But
did.
to spend a year?
A year and a day.
A year and a day in jail.
Mm-hmm. They would spend a year and a day in jail. And this is, I guess maybe they caught them drunk or staggering on the street. You
mm-hmm.
know, they could do like they want to do.
Right.
You know, but that's what they had to spend in jail, a year and a day. And I'm trying to think about Sis' husband. I don't know. How long did he stay in jail? He was in jail. But we used to go to the jailhouse and visit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was a fun thing. And when the guys, because they all were young boys, and they would, had to come work. They worked them hard.
Right.
And we when they'd come, you know, sometimes they would have them with chains and stuff, but we would talk to them and just smile and talk and be nice to them and go to the jail to see them, you know, because we had one person in jail at that time. I think that was Sis' husband, and he was an alcoholic too, but he was a good man, and he and one of his drunken buddies just didn't have sense enough to take the bone out of the fish, but they just eat
choke on a bone?
I don't know if the bones.
Stabbed him up inside.
Yeah, right. But anyhow, because these drunken buddies, his husband and him, they blame his husband.
Oh, really?
He didn't know. He didn't know what was happening because he was drunk too, and they just drank like that. But they put him in jail. I forgot how long he stayed because they say he killed that man. But he didn't because the man, the fish bones killed him.
Right.
They found out, that the fish bones had killed him.
Yeah, they did an autopsy, or did they even do autopsies back then?
I don't think they did them back then because, they might have done them on the white folk, but not no black people. That was a different situation in North Carolina, where I grew up. So, anybody that want to go back there can go. All those folk
they can keep the South.
They can keep the South. I don't want it. Well, I'm scared of snakes anyway.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't want to be bothered with them snakes. And then, sure.
Was she up here, right?
Yeah, she lived here, but her grandson had a snake in her house.
Oh, okay.
He was
up here.
Up here.
Oh.
He lived with her, and he had a snake in her house. I said, no way I go to her house. I told her, no way I would come there. Oh, my God. But she had been in that place for, I think she said 37 years, but then the man decided to sell it, and she was going to buy it, and then he decided not to sell it, and she stayed there a few more years later, but then now he decided to sell it, and they had to get out. So she, only been a couple of months now, but she and her daughter living together. I don't know if she still have that grandson with that snake or not. I don't know. But she said she liked her place, that she and her daughter had.
Right.
Well, it's, because she and her daughter splitting the rent, it's not as bad. I think each one have their own bedroom and $750 a month for each. And she pays $750, and their daughter pays $750. I told her, well, when Karen was renting, her and her daughter, they were paying $1,500 then, back there before Karen bought her house.
Right.
And so I said $1,500 is not that bad, now, because they were paying that way back then.
Oh, yeah. Well, it depends on where you're at, what town and all that
stuff. You're right around the corner from where she was.
I don't know where she
lived.
In
Newark.
Oh, okay.
In Newark. On Goldsmith.
Yeah.
And she moved to. Oh, I see you on Facebook with your grandson.
That's what
people were saying they have to wait.
Yeah.
What? I said, I told my grandson don't put me on that Facebook.
Make you famous. Everybody loves to see you.
Too famous.
They just love seeing you.
with no teeth. Can't smile. B, because I have no teeth.
But yeah, everybody still loves your smile.
I guess so. I guess so, grandson. His smile.
Finally getting to those papers and stuff now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this stuff. Those I had looked at the other ones I think yesterday. And these are some more that came that in the envelope. I didn't get to look at that. I think I got another envelope here too. Yeah, another one that's not open. All that stuff they send me. But they're
Like advertisement stuff, right?
Yeah, but it's all similar in each book, in each Oh, here's a Coca-Cola, 1940 Coca-Cola delivery sedan.
Delivery truck.
Was authentically the real collectible celebrates America's favorite soft drink. They didn't have this one before. They said it was 5 cents. Coke was 5 cents in the 1940s. I guess so. Pepsi too. Pepsi was.
Was Pepsi even invented then?
Yeah, Pepsi. Yeah, Pepsi was 12 full ounces. That's a lot. Coke only had that little one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The little glass bottle.
The little glass bottle.
That's how how Pepsi tried to win them over.
Yeah, with the big Pepsi, and it was good. But you know how they raised over Coke. So maybe Coke had Coke in it.
Oh, it did. It still does.
It still does.
Yes. Oh. It's not cocaine, the drug that how people knows it. It's it's using a coca leaf, which if you process it a certain way, you make cocaine.
A coca leaf?
Coca leaf, yes.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So
if you dry it out and I forgot what chemicals you have to use to make it into cocaine. Mm-hmm. But that's how you make cocaine.
Oh. But Pepsi came out with 12 full ounces. That's a lot for nickel. Nickel.
For the same price.
It was the same price.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But Polly Bergen used to advertise Pepsi, but I don't remember Coke being advertised. I don't know. It must have been. But I know that Pepsi, 12 full ounces.
Mm-hmm.
For a nickel, Pepsi-Cola is a nickel for you.
Oh, that was the advertising?
Advertising, yeah. And good old Pepsi. They have a wireless doorbell.
I want to get one for here that it where you can see the people and it text messages me and Bruce a picture, and you would have a little screen in here that you could look and see the people.
That comes at the door.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know it was that late.
Oh, yeah, we get to talking. It's 11:30 now.
Yeah, time just flies.
Yeah.
What did I have to eat? I had coffee. I think it was coffee.
It's all gone now.
Yeah, coffee with the cookies.
Oh, that's that. It's I guess you could say an internet joke going around.
What?
When you see that canister, you don't know if there's cookies in there or a sewing kit.
Oh.
Yeah, always in those canisters. There's either cookies or a sewing kit.
I have a sewing kit. Is that with it from the cookie?
Huh? Well, there's cookies in there, right?
In this one, yeah, because it's new. But in there we have the sewing kit.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's cookie.
Where?
Was in there.
Oh yeah, of course.
That was cookie.
Yep, those tins are always cookies.
Cookies.
Mm-hmm.
But the sewing kit, it's a beautiful sewing kit.
Yeah. As usual, good talk.
Yeah, okay. Good night, grandson. I'm going up too. I gotta take my medicine.
That big giant bag of medicine that
Yeah.
I was telling you to
But you know,
separate?
hand it to me. Right here. Last night, I took my medicine sitting right here because it's warm.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess my room is nice and warm now because Bruce put the heat on some time ago. So I might can take it upstairs tonight and take my medicine.
Well, you want me to take it up for you?
Yeah, take it up for me, thank you.
And you said tomorrow we're gonna go over and set you up for a week.
Set me up. Yeah, we can
all
do
your
that.
pills for a week.
Yeah, what did I do with the pill bottle?
I don't know.
I'll find them.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And take your pocketbook up too.
Oh yeah, thank you. Very good. Bruce gone up?
No, he's in the living room.
Oh, I thought I heard you talking to him.
No.
Oh, you were telling me about my pills and stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
I'll find it.
All right.